So many girls in there, where do I begin? I see this one, I'm about to go in. Then she said, I'm here with my friend. She got me thinking.
Welcome to The Scan. On tonight's episode, we are going to dig deep into the mysteries of the adventures of Tom Sawyer with our special guest, Mark Twain. Here are your hosts, Vanessa and Haley Farrell.
How's everyone doing today?
Okay, so the new Tom Sawyer movie. The main character, Tom, and his friend Huckleberry get into some intense stuff during the movie.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they experience a murder scene, and there is a lot of themes that Mark Twain puts into the story.
Yeah, like the murder scene, right? I mean, we're two 10-year-old boys. We're talking about two 10-year-old boys
I
here,
know.
who are so mischievous that they end up going to the graveyard and keep mum about this murder only them and the robbers know about, and their parents didn't even know. They're gone like every night. Like I don't know how to put that.
Parents should be checking on their children. I mean, two 10-year-old boys sneaking out every single night. You'd expect like teenagers, but two 10-year-old boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, here's a scene from the movie.
Jason Derulo.
Hello, Huckleberry.
Well, hell her to yourself and see how you like it.
Hey, what's that?
A dead cat.
What you gonna do with that old cat?
Well, it's good for curing warts.
Curing warts? Well, I know something way better than that.
I bet you don't. What is it?
Why? Spunk water.
Spunk water? It wouldn't give a darn for spunk water.
You don't know, do you?
No, I don't. I reckon it's a joke. Spunk water?
Well, you got a freaking dead cat for crying out loud. How's that gonna do any good?
Well, I'll show you tonight in the graveyard. Midnight.
Well, okay then. Now, where are you gonna get such an idea?
Well, Mother Hopkins told me so.
Which? I reckon it's so then. Are you afraid for tonight?
No, I ain't afraid. I'll meow for you tonight, and if you get a chance, you meow back.
Well, wasn't that a scene?
Yes, it was. Now we're going to bring out our special guest, Mark Twain, and ask him some questions.
Okay, so to start off this interview, I want to talk about the murder scene. Now, what theme comes out of the four themes we're supposed to come across to the readers?
Superstition was the theme in this scene. I added the superstition to this scene and connected to the part where we get to see who Injun Joe's character is and what he's like.
Because this murder Injun Joe did has a big part later on in the story, right?
Yes, one of the other characters is blamed for the murder.
Right.
All right, so let's watch this next video clip.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jay Dare. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I made a little bit of money.
Tom Sawyer, you are just as mean as you can be, sneaking up on a person and see what they're looking at.
How could I know you was looking at anything?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Tom. You know you're going to tell me, and oh, what shall I do? I'll be whipped, and I never was whipped at school before. Be so mean if you want to. I know something that's going to happen, and you just wait and see. Hateful, hateful, hateful.
What a curious kind of fool a girl is. Never been licked at school? Well, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let old Diamonds go around and ask who done it. Nobody will answer then. And when he comes around upon her, he'll know it. Girls' faces always tell on then. They ain't got no backbone. She'll get licked.
Who tore this book? Benjamin Rogers.
No.
Did you tear?
No, I didn't.
Amy Lawrence? No. Rebecca Thatcher? Look me in the eye. Did you tear this book?
I got it. I tore the book.
So know, my guess for this scene is coming of age.
And why would that be?
Well, Tom matures throughout the book, and this was one of the times he takes the blame for something he didn't do. Where he would have, we would think he would be immature and stick with his plan. And have their teacher go around about and catch her by her facial expression.
Okay, another theme you have is hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, actually. Yeah, one example of this story is when Tom taunts Huck and Joe for wanting to go home. He says he's not ever going to go back, but he does.
And hypocrisy is saying to someone to keep doing this or that, or I would never do that, but then they either do it or they don't, right?
Exactly.
Well, you showed a lot of themes throughout the book. Why is that?
Well, I was showing my personal opinion on these topics, like religion, how I don't like people telling me what to do, and things like that.
All right.
Stupid Huck. Hey, Hucky. Do you think the dead people like it for us to be out here?
I wish that I knowed. Wish.
Did you hear that? Did you think the ghosts can see us?
Oh, Tom, they can see in the dark. Same with cats. I would wish it not hadn't come.
Hey, Sawbones, everything's ready. Come on now. Another 5 or here she stays.
That's the talk.
What? I already paid you, dude.
Yep. You done more than that. 5 years ago, you drove me out of your father's kitchen. I asked for something to eat, and you said it weren't there for any good. I swore I'd get even with you if it took me 100 years. Then your father had me jailed a vagrant. Don't you think I forgot? Now I've got you right where I want you.
To a beautiful life. Come on. Who says you're not perfect? Who says you're not worth it? Who says you're the only one that's heard it? Trust me.
Shall I be carried to the skies on the flowery beds of ease, whilst others fight to win the prize and sail through bloody seas? First prayer meeting at 2 o'clock today, then meal following afterwards, then Wednesday night we'll be serving meals for the widows, and then another prayer meeting on Thursday, then Bible studies on Friday, then another prayer meeting.
Now, this scene shows a generalization about human behavior and their reactions to the priest while he's preaching. So this generalization states that when preachers are preaching, they have a lot of power over the people. And generalizations are specific kinds of general statements that are specific but may not be true.
Another one I found in the book was when Tom and Becky got stuck in the cave and their parents started to lose hope. And the generalization is when people get weak or fail, they lose hope. This is a general statement because it's specific but general and true in some cases.
Yeah.
It may not be true in every situation, but it is in most.
Yeah, exactly.
Better with you, yeah. I try to write this down, the words just don't come out. It's hard to say how you feel.
Tom is a round and a dynamic character. He is a round character because you see him as immature, adventurous, at times girl-crazed, and sensitive. He's dynamic because he changes from being very immature to mature in the story. He is also the protagonist. Aunt Polly is a flat character because you only see her as a sensitive, caring woman. Huck is a static character because he always stays the same throughout the story. You always see him as a rebel, and he likes the way he lives because he's used to it. A caricature is Injun Joe because his evil side is exaggerated. He is also the antagonist. Mark Twain's use of dialect affects the story because his vocabulary explains new meanings to words that to us mean otherwise. For example, lick means to beat someone up or defeat them.
Hello, good morning. for it. 'Cause I seen